Imagine a world where your pantry shelves hold fresh produce for months, where meat stays wholesome without electricity, and where a power outage means not a loss, but merely a shift in routine. For most of human history, this was simply life. Our modern reliance on the refrigerator has dulled our ancestral instincts, creating a fragile dependence on an expensive, energy-hungry appliance. We face rising utility bills, the heartbreak of spoiled food during outages, and the constant hum of a machine we rarely question. Yet, countless generations thrived, eating well and wasting little, long before the invention of modern cooling. They understood nature's rhythms and harnessed simple principles to keep their harvests viable. What if the secrets to true food self-sufficiency, to a fridge-free existence, are not complex innovations but rather forgotten wisdom, waiting to be rediscovered in our own backyards? One of the most elegant and enduring solutions is the root cellar. This isn't just a hole in the ground. It's a meticulously designed space that leverages the Earth's stable temperature and humidity. A true root cellar can be as simple as a repurposed trash can buried in a shaded spot, or as elaborate as a stone-lined underground room. The key is insulation and ventilation. Digging a pit, lining it with straw or sand, and ensuring a small vent pipe for air circulation creates an environment where root vegetables like potatoes, carrots, and beets, along with apples and cabbages, can slumber through winter, emerging as fresh as the day they were picked. The success of a root cellar lies in understanding thermal mass. The surrounding soil acts as a natural insulator, absorbing heat when it's warm and releasing it when it's cold, maintaining a consistent cool temperature typically between 35 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit with high humidity. This slows down the respiration and ripening processes of the stored produce, preventing spoilage and keeping food firm and flavorful for months on end. It's a testament to simple engineering, a method passed down through generations, making the earth itself your refrigerator. Contrast this with the mechanical hum of a modern fridge, which actively fights external temperatures, consuming energy to maintain an artificial chill. The root cellar, by contrast, works passively, in harmony with its environment. It requires no electricity, no expensive parts, and, once established, costs virtually nothing to operate. This low-tech approach offers a profound sense of independence, liberating us from the grid's demands and the constant worry of power failures. It's not just about saving money, it's about reclaiming a piece of our autonomy. Beyond the cool, dark sanctuary of the earth, another powerful technique transforms food rather than just storing it: fermentation. This age-old process, practiced by cultures worldwide for millennia, uses beneficial microorganisms to preserve food. Think sauerkraut, kimchi, pickles, and kombucha. Rather than fighting decay, fermentation embraces it, but in a controlled, beneficial way. It is a process that not only extends shelf life but also enhances nutritional value and flavor, creating entirely new culinary experiences. The basic DIY process for fermenting vegetables, known as lacto-fermentation, is deceptively simple. You need fresh vegetables, salt, water, and a jar. By submerging chopped vegetables in a brine solution, you create an anaerobic environment, one without oxygen. This allows lactic acid bacteria, naturally present on the vegetables, to flourish. These beneficial bacteria consume the sugars in the vegetables, producing lactic acid, which acts as a natural preservative, inhibiting the growth of spoilage organisms. It's a microscopic battle won for our benefit. The practical outcome is astounding. A head of cabbage, destined to wilt in a week, can become a vibrant, probiotic-rich sauerkraut that lasts for months, even without refrigeration, if stored in a cool, dark place. Cucumbers transform into tangy pickles, and milk becomes nourishing yogurt or kefir. This transformation isn't just about preservation, it's about creating living foods that support gut health and boost immunity. It's a powerful alchemy, turning simple ingredients into superfoods through the invisible work of microbes. Embracing fermentation is a deeply empowering act. It reconnects us to a culinary heritage that valued flavor, nutrition, and resourcefulness. It teaches patience and observation as we learn to recognize the subtle signs of a healthy ferment. The initial apprehension about bacteria quickly gives way to wonder as we realize that these tiny allies are our partners in food preservation, safeguarding our sustenance in ways no appliance ever could. However, a common pitfall in fermentation can be insufficient salt or exposure to oxygen, which allows undesirable molds to grow. The solution? Always ensure vegetables are fully submerged beneath the brine, using a weight if necessary, and maintain the correct salt-to-water ratio. A clean environment is important, but true fermentation thrives on the right conditions, not sterility. It's about creating an inviting home for the good microbes and a hostile one for the bad. Moving from the damp coolness of fermentation, we find ourselves drawn to the opposite extreme, the sun-drenched, airy world of food drying. This is perhaps the most ancient and universal method of preservation, stretching back to prehistoric times. By removing moisture from food, we eliminate the very environment that most spoilage microbes need to thrive. Think of sun-dried tomatoes, dried fruits, or jerky. This technique transforms perishable goods into lightweight, nutrient-dense provisions that can last for years. For DIY enthusiasts, a solar dehydrator is an almost free solution. Constructed from repurposed wood, old window screens, and a clear plastic sheet, it harnesses the sun's energy and natural air circulation. Thinly sliced fruits, vegetables, or even strips of lean meat are laid out on screens within the dehydrator. The sun heats the air inside, which then rises, pulling moisture from the food. Vents at the top and bottom ensure a constant flow of warm, dry air, slowly but surely turning fresh produce into long-lasting provisions. The success here lies in consistent airflow and low, steady heat. This isn't about cooking the food, but gently coaxing out its water content. The result? Concentrated flavors and an incredibly stable product. Imagine making your own apple chips, banana leather, or beef jerky without any additives, relying solely on the sun and wind. This method is particularly effective for seasonal gluts, allowing you to capture the peak sweetness of summer berries or the robust flavor of garden herbs for enjoyment far into winter. The broader impact of food drying extends beyond individual households. Historically, dried foods were crucial for nomadic tribes, explorers, and armies. They were the original convenience foods, lightweight and packed with energy, enabling long journeys and sustaining communities through lean times. By readopting these techniques, we not only secure our own food supply but also connect to a lineage of resilience and resourcefulness that shaped human civilization. It's a powerful echo of simpler, more robust times. Finally, we arrive at salt curing, a method revered for its ability to preserve meats and fish with remarkable efficacy. Before refrigeration, salt was the king of preservation, transforming perishable proteins into stable, delicious staples like salted cod, cured hams, and bacon. The magic of salt lies in its ability to draw out moisture through osmosis and inhibit bacterial growth, essentially creating an inhospitable environment for spoilage. The DIY process typically involves dry curing or brining. In dry curing, meat is generously rubbed with a mixture of salt and often sugar and spices, then left to rest in a cool environment. The salt draws water from the meat and over time penetrates the tissue, preserving it. Brining involves submerging meat in a concentrated salt solution. Both methods rely on salt's dehydrating and antimicrobial properties to prevent decay. This is a technique that demands precision and patience, but the rewards are profound. The practical outcome of salt curing is a product far more stable and flavorful than its fresh counterpart. A pork belly can become bacon that lasts for weeks or months. A fish fillet can be transformed into a savory, long-keeping staple. This method requires careful attention to detail and hygiene, but it bypasses the need for any electrical appliance, relying instead on a fundamental chemical reaction that ancient peoples mastered out of necessity. Embracing salt curing, even on a small scale, offers a unique kind of self-sufficiency. It empowers us to take control of our meat supply, to process and store it without external dependence. It harks back to an era when every part of an animal was valued and preserved, ensuring sustenance through the harshest seasons. This isn't just about food. It's about a deeper understanding of food systems and a respectful engagement with the resources we consume. However, a common pitfall in salt curing, especially with meats, is inadequate salt penetration or improper drying, which can lead to spoilage or even dangerous bacterial growth. Precision in salt ratios, consistent temperatures, and proper ventilation are paramount. This is where traditional knowledge, honed over centuries, becomes invaluable. Learning from those who mastered these techniques is crucial for safety and success. These forgotten food preservation techniques, the humble root cellar, the transformative power of fermentation, the sun-kissed efficiency of drying, and the ancient wisdom of salt curing, offer more than just practical solutions. They represent a fundamental shift in perspective. They challenge our modern assumptions about convenience and dependence, inviting us to reconnect with the ingenious methods that sustained humanity for millennia. The broader impact of integrating these practices into our lives is immense. We reduce our carbon footprint, lessen our reliance on a fragile electrical grid, and cultivate a deeper appreciation for where our food comes from. We become more resilient, more self-reliant, and more connected to the rhythms of nature. It's an act of quiet rebellion against a consumer culture that often prioritizes speed over sustainability. Ultimately, these ancient methods empower us to secure our food supply, reduce waste, and live more harmoniously with our environment. They are not merely historical curiosities. They are living, breathing solutions for the modern world, offering a pathway to true food independence. The hum of a refrigerator might provide convenience, but the quiet wisdom of our ancestors offers something far more profound: resilience, connection, and the empowering knowledge that we can feed ourselves without exception.